Well, welcome back to an exciting video on the expedition. It's now raining. It was snowing the other day. It's been cold. Now it's not too bad. It's like 45, almost 50 degrees. I've got an engine to put back together. So join me in this video. It's going to be a little bit of a boring one, but if you want to see the progress on this 4.6 sloppy engine build, well, join me in the garage and we'll start putting this motor together.
Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. Where have you been? It's alright, we know where you've been.
Well, it's been a few days. I've got the engine block here all cleaned up as good as it's gonna get. I still have to clean the mating surface here of the cylinder, where the cylinder head meets. I got our cylinders pretty decent. They're coated in WD-40 right now. Yeah, we got a little bit of ring wear. You can just barely feel it. This one here is probably the worst one, but I think I'll be fine. It's got a little bit too. But for the most part, the important areas are cleaned up. We do still have a little bit of scoring here, but it's barely detectable with the fingernail. So I'm gonna call it good there. It's better than it was. Over here, I've got a lot going on over here. Off camera, I had the whole crankshaft here in a tub. I had it completely submerged in hot water and Dawn dish soap, and with a little bit of Scotch-Brite and microfiber towel rubbing down in. I got rid of pretty much all the varnish. It's in really good shape, to be honest. I have the sandpaper to sand this all down, or to polish it, I should say. That's where we're at. I got all the lifters and followers cleaned up. I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to order new ones. I may end up ordering new ones just for peace of mind. I've got this rear main seal plate cleaned up. This was caked all in here with just sludge and nastiness. I've got the main caps and bolts mostly cleaned up. I might hit these up with a wire wheel and just get some of the dirt off the ends there. But for the most part, these are nice and clean now. Oh yeah, let me explain to you why we need a camshaft. Let's see, this is the passenger side. That one is technically good. This is the driver's side. I don't know if you can see that right here. There is a crack through the cam lobe all the way down. Yeah. Got some parts in today. About a week ago I ordered a complete engine rebuild kit from a shop out in Washington. It's a pretty nice kit. It's $830 some. Comes with new pistons, bearings, timing set, all the stuff that we need to bring this thing around. Of course, I added a couple more things to this, which is a head bolt set, harmonic balancer, and water pump. think that's pretty much the bulk of it. I still have to go to the junkyard to get a timing cover. A couple camshafts that are preferably not cracked, like the one that we have here. And then, yeah, still got quite a bit of work to do. I gotta get all these pistons off of their connecting rods, which I'm gonna do right now. Since these pistons are trash, I'm gonna use my press and try and press them out. First deal we got, and this is from DNJ in Washington, or at least they have a 360 number, so they're somewhere in Washington. I ordered it last week, got it today is Tuesday. Yeah, so we got some new stuff here. Intake manifold gasket, or intake plenum, and then we have our manifold gaskets here. I gotta pull the plenum apart so I can swap the gaskets out and clean it some more. This is the other part of it. This has got the oil pan, rear main seal. We got a front main seal. I'm not sure what this other one is for. We'll figure that out. We got O-rings. We've got some oil cooler adapter gaskets and whatnot. So we're looking good there. We got a whole piston ring set. I ordered all standard because this engine is a standard bore, never been apart, so, and we didn't have to bore it out, so this is what we're running. Brand spanking new water pump, included with O-ring. Brand new oil pump. I know this stuff is not standard, it's not OEM, so should be fine. I think at this rate, this will be better than it was. Pretty decent quality, brand new harmonic balancer. We got new freeze plugs, some new galley plugs. I'm gonna reuse the ones that I have and then use these wherever they go. I think this uses the same freeze plugs on everything, like the head and whatnot. So we got that head bolt set. They look just like the factory ones. I'm not doing anything crazy. Main bearings and rod bearings. I checked the fitment on one pair and they fit beautifully. They fit like any other brand would. Now the bearing clearance, don't know yet. We've got to polish that up. I'm actually going to work on that right now. We got a whole timing set here. Again, not OEM stuff. I'm a little curious on the guides there. Then we've got our aluminum framed ones here. I think that the guides on the other deal, they were all plastic. Maybe had some metal in it. Well, we'll give her a shot. Another new guide there. We got a new gear for the crankshaft. One new timing chain. We got two new timing chains. I had this one out because I wanted to get a look at it. Just, it moves so nice. We got new timing gears for the camshafts. So, when we get our replacement camshaft, we'll clean those up and swap on these new gears. Got two new tensioners in here. So, got a whole timing set. And finally, 8 new pistons. I was taking a look at these. These are kind of nice. Just nice little stock replacements. Standard. Checking these out. These have a wider skirt than the original pistons did. So you can see this is one of two pistons that were completely blown out. So yeah, there's your skirt right there. We got a wider skirt here. It's kind of nice. It'll kind of help a little bit with the piston rocking and the bore, because there is clearance. around these pistons that, you know, they can kind of move around a little bit. But this will be kind of nice. It's a little sharp. That's okay. Got a new coating. Supposed to have a coating on it. You can see this is completely gone. I mean, look at that side. There is no coating at all. So that's going to help significantly with just everything, compression and all that stuff. Well, compared to this, yeah, we're going to have great compression after that. So looking at like this one, we have our notch, which points towards the front of the engine. So we have that notch, and if I set it up where this is pointing to my right, the two notches in this connecting rod for the bearings is down. Notch to the right, notch to the bottom. Notch to the right, notch to the bottom. Set this in here, kind of get it started. Move her up real good. Connecting rod is not crooked. And drive her home. Gently. This one's a little firmer than the others. Some of these bores are a little fun. We lube her up. Probably got a little bit of metal from here just from the pressing, but yeah, that'll do. Fairly even on both sides. Yeah. Here comes the fun. Turns out the end of the crankshaft is difficult to do. I got the method down for this part. It's turning the sandpaper. So I just got a 1500 grit on there, lots of WD-40, and I'm just gonna go around like this. Sometimes the lace gets caught up in itself. So if I just do that, you can polish it up. The very end, it still has a little bit of, you know, some staining, but there's no big grooves or anything. So as long as we have a nice smooth surface to right on the bearing, and we don't have any material transfer, we're going to be in really good shape. So I'm just going to do this for a little bit. And then we'll see what we're looking like. Oh, so much better. Yeah, it's not going to be machine shop perfect, but it does look a lot better than it did. The shoelace kind of helps put even pressure all the way around. So it's super smooth. Isn't this what they do to BMWs on every oil change? You gotta change the bearings, polish the crank. There we go. It's a little rough at first. Once it starts to smooth out, it gets easy to turn. I think that's the key. I'll lean back and do this now. I know there might be some perfectionists out there that are gonna say something, but I'm just going by with what we had before to now. So this one I just did. You can see it's got some staining right there. This one just had some oil on it. It's better than it was. They were kind of looking like that. I got it down to that. So I think just a nice little polish like that. Just give it a nice smooth surface, and then once it has that film of oil in it, it's gonna be, she's gonna be good for 30,000 miles. Gotta be careful with these towels. They do like to leave some stuff behind. There we go. I like to start it right in the notch. Push it down. I think this one actually goes right here. Oh yeah. Okay, that's better. I'm going to look at my manual and just double check the bearings. Actually, I'm going to look at the video. This fits in something specific. Why do we only have 4 like this? I'm missing a bearing. We're missing we're missing bearings. Some oil. That's okay. Now we're looking here. Okay. That sucks, we're missing a bearing there. You don't want to roll the crank like I'm doing here, but I'm doing it anyways. Alright, I got the main caps in. I lubricated the bolts so they would go in easy. Not down all the way. Let's see if we can run them home. Okay, they're snug. Can we rotate the crank? Oh, like butter. Of course, we have a lot of end play because we don't have our thrust bearing. I'm gonna go ahead and order that, but this feels pretty good. That feels really good. Clean this off. We got a little bit of flash rusting on here. Whoops. It's okay. We'll clean that right up. Let's see. That's our 800. We've got 1500 is what I'm gonna polish her with. Get that soaking. Get this soaking. I'm gonna take this, which barely fits. That's okay. Can I take a little bit off? I'm gonna have to. That'll have to do. I'm sure this is gonna start off as a kind of a pain in the ass. There we go. Something like that. This is a very messy job, but I think it's fun. It's fun until I don't get the parts that I ordered. I'm gonna get that kind of a little bit more in the center. Something like that. Because you want the lace to keep pressure 360 degrees and then go side to side. So we got a pretty good range of motion here. It'll help kind of keep it even. And rinse and repeat. There we go. Went a little extra on that one, trying something out. Let's see what we did. Well, while it's not perfect, it's still better than it was. I think she'll run just fine. It's nice and smooth. Granted, it does have some lube on it, but they're nice and smooth. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and do piston rings and just get this out of the way. I've got one set in here about halfway in the bore. They want you to go like 4.5 inches, which is basically kind of the bottom of the stroke. So we could take her a little further. So pistone, you can take in, just guide that ring down in there. Let's see. They said 4.5. We got 3.5. Piston glides right in there. Well, if I go any further, I feel like I'm not going to. 4.5 is, that's, yeah, okay. I might call that good. Call it like 4-ish. we're down at the bottom of the bore, essentially. They went 1/2 millimeter, right? Yeah. So, where we got 1/2 millimeter? We got 0.483. Doesn't quite fit. Got this guy here, our little piston ring filer. I got yelled at for going clockwise and having the wheel go out that way. How far did we go in? Yep, I got it exactly where I had it before. Let's see, a loose 483. It fits in there. So that's all you got to do is find out your spec. I'm going with the OEM Ford manual. I can share the link down below, and I have a copy on my computer, so if the link doesn't work, I can send it to you guys through Gmail. So we're gonna go for 0.483. This just like fits in there, kind of almost snug, but not quite, like kind of easy. I'm gonna shoot for that. It's not far off from 0.49. We could go a little bit looser. In fact, why don't we try that? Why don't we go a little bit looser, because we don't want the ring gap too tight. So let me hit this one more time. It's not leaving a burr on it, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, where'd it go? It's right here. Dead on. Okay, now for loose on this feeler gauge. Yeah, there we go. It's a little loose. We'll go with that. Now I need to orient these piston rings in a certain way. Okay. I don't want to get WD-40 on the engine block. Okay, that should have it pretty good. Mm-hmm. Haha. Okay, connecting rod has aligned itself now. That's sweet. Oh, there's that thrust bearing we don't need. Nice. Yeah, after seeing the piston rings kind of mate with that bearing surface, the cylinder walls look great. Got a nice sheen to it. Right on. Oh. Well, I'm in the garage here working on the engine again, trying to get a few hours in and kind of make some progress. I went ahead and put the rest of the pistons in. I checked the clearance on at least one of them. So far I've got really good rotational resistance, and what I mean good is it feels like every other engine that I've put together. So it has some resistance, but it doesn't have any binding. It's consistent all the way through. I checked the bearing clearance on, let's see, what cylinder was that? I think cylinder 7. Yeah, did cylinder 7, and I checked that clearance. And the spec, let's see, what was it like? My laptop is charging, but it's 0.0016, I think, or 106 or something like that, and then no more than yeah, I think it was like no more than 27 thousandths, something like that. I laid it out on the thing there, the little splatter that it got, and it was under the maximum, but it was just slightly over the minimum spec. So I'm gonna call that good. I think our crankshaft, for the most part, survived the 214,000 miles of just not good maintenance. So, and then our new bearings actually spec'd out pretty decent. So I'm gonna leave that well enough alone. I have the correct main bearing kit on the way, and really I'm just missing that clamshell in the back. So my plan is to pop the clamshell in, like roll it in, and then I'll check the mains. I'll check every single one of them and make sure that we're consistent and we're not bigger or smaller on any one of them. And as long as that's good, I'll go ahead and we'll torque all the rods and mains down. I have to check the manual and make sure these fasteners are reusable. I thought I saw something somewhere where you had to replace that stuff. I'm just gonna say that it is reusable, but I know for one thing the head bolts are not reusable, or at least I'm not gonna reuse those. I got a whole new bag here, as I showed in this video. And by the way, this is the second time I've put this video together. I was gonna upload it the other day, but I felt like it was a little too boring, so I went through and shorted it up. Right now I'm just kind of sharing with y'all what I'm doing right now for, you know, maybe not entirely necessary stuff here, but I felt like this was very necessary. Cleaning the intake plenum. When I got the top off of this intake runner, it was gungy. You guys seen how the oil was? It had that just kind of like a dirt, muddy, nasty, chunky looking color to it. Well, that's what the inside of this looked like. So I first hit it with brake cleaner and broke up whatever stuff the brake cleaner could get. And then now I'm going in here with a toothbrush, well, a really aggressive one, a wire brush here, and I'm just cleaning up the chunks. Get whatever I can out of it. I'll probably run a towel through here. You know, it's not going to be perfect, but I've got it soaking in hot water here. And it's doing a pretty good job of getting this stuff broke up. Hot water and Dawn. But this thing had like oil in it and just dirt and sludge, so a little bit of water for me pressure washing it. This whole rebuild kit that I got comes with all these gaskets, so I'm pulling the throttle body apart to clean all of the carbon and whatnot out. I'm probably going to order a new EGR valve just to have a new one in there to be safe. I don't know, we'll see. So here's our throttle body here. I've got the upper plenum horn. We've got the throttle body. We have idle air control valve and EGR valve. And there's a throttle position sensor on here. We're going to leave that alone. First, let's get our idle air control valve off. That's got some oil in it. Probably clean that out. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of oil in here. Well, that came off really nice. Nice. Very nice. That's what it takes. EGR is not too bad. Let's get our throttle body off of here. I need to get some throttle body cleaner for this. Oh, wow. Yeah, we need to clean that up. That's not... This is not conducive to to anything. This is not good. Look at that. At least it came off nice. Like that was just fantastic. Well, I'm glad I took this all apart because in this plenum there's two ports right here that are part of the EGR circuit, and they're both plugged solid. So that was no good. I'm just gonna let that soak for a tiny bit. I'm gonna take a drill bit here and run it into those ports there, because that looks to be about what they did to make those ports. So they just drilled them out like this. We might start with a 5/16. Get them on some V-scripts. I put them on the power drill, but I don't really feel like doing that. I don't even know where my DeWalt cordless drill is. I've been looking for that thing for a while now. There we go. We're in like sin. Look at that. That is nasty. Yeah, and this one is... I mean, fluid is flowing through it now. I'll tell you that much. But the other one I was just doing, that one was completely plug solid. Yeah. Well, aside from getting that old gasket off of this thing, this part of the intake horn, plenum, whatever you want to call it, is doing great. That's ready to rock. I cleaned up the throttle body. It is damn near spotless. It's got a couple of stains and stuff there, but I'm not too worried about it. Might go over the mating surface with the razor blade there. Let's see. Actually, go ahead and put that back on. I think we're going to paint that piece. Yeah, so that's that. This is together. I've got the oil pan I completely scrubbed and cleaned and blasted and brake cleaned and soaked overnight. Like, it got the work, so that part's done. I think the next thing for me to clean is the wiring harness and cylinder heads. One slight hang up that I found out, I went to rotate the engine and it was really hard to rotate and I couldn't figure out why. Took off the oil pump that I'm kind of questioning now. I took it off and then the engine went back to rotating freely. So for some reason this oil pump is hanging up ever so slightly when this gets fully mounted to the block. Now it's a machine fit, there's no gasket here. And that's how the old one was when I took it off. There was nothing behind this. It's just a machine fit to the block. So what I'm opting to do is buy another oil pump. I wanted to pop open our head gasket here. Oh, what I was going to say on the engine block, what I did, I had to go buy one of these because I don't know where mine is, but this guy right here, I bought one of these little scrapers and a 100 pack of emo blades, and I scraped the chunkies and whatever off, and then what I did is, and I've done this many times, is I take this knife sharpening stone and I believe I use the coarser side, lube her up with WD-40, and then I go over it in a circular motion, just oscillating all the way down. And it pretty much gets rid of everything but the staining. And the staining I'm okay with. I just want to make sure that we don't have any chunks. So here we have a head gasket that I'm going to fail to open up properly with a razor blade. Looks like we got an MLS gasket, so I'm okay with that. I believe they are both the same. Oh no, we got a left and a right. So this is going to be our driver's side. And we've got a right. They're stamped on each corner here. Yeah, this looks correct. It's the difference is the ends are longer here. So that's your difference. So other way. So it looks like the stamping for the location is facing out. That's on. That's on. It looks like it's got a head gasket. Alright, we're going to go ahead and torque the cylinder heads down. D, tighten in 6 steps. This is for the cylinder head bolts. We got to do 6 steps. So we're going to tighten them to 27 foot-pounds, and then we'll do another pass at 32. That'll kind of compress the gasket down. Then we're going to rotate. We're going to rotate them 85 to 95 degrees. I don't know if they want us to go 85 and then just take another 10. We'll get it close. We're not gonna. I don't have a dial deal. That's a tool that I should probably buy at some point. But we can kind of guesstimate and get it close. After we do that, we're gonna loosen them 1 full turn. So we'll get it on there. We'll break it free, and then we'll bring the wrench all the way back around. And then after we do that, we'll tighten to 28 foot-pounds, and then we'll go another pass to 31. We're gonna rotate the bolts to another 85 or 95 degrees. We'll probably just go for the full, go 90, kind of meet sort of in the middle of that. And then after you do that, it wants you to do it again. And then you're good to go. Okay, I think what we'll do is usually the sequence on something like this is going to be where you'll start in the center, like, you know, this could be bolt number 1, and then you got 2, and you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how I think that's how the 302 was. And the Cummins, it's just start here, go 1, 2, 3, yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. 27. You guys want a buddy check? Is that 27? Okay. Here we go. So I think what I'll do is we'll do it like this. Well, yeah, head gaskets look like it's squished down nice. Can you imagine if it just like exploded? You want a buddy check? 32? Okay. Got that. Alright. We need to rotate our bolts 85 to 95 degrees. So what I'll do is I'll start roughly like this, and I'll bring it up and go just a little bit past. That should give us about 97 degrees. Yeah, we'll go just a little bit past on that one. Long breaker bar makes this really easy. Go like this. These bolts stretch. So this is what we're doing, is we're compressing the gasket and we're stretching the bolts. That scared me. Yeah, so we'll have to go a little bit past. You kind of feel a certain amount of tension build up on it too. I've got a little bit of lube. I actually just used WD-40. Should have used motor oil. So we did that step. And then we want to loosen the bolts. One whole turn. So something like that. One whole turn, pretty much. Well, this is like half a turn. I don't think we need to go any further. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Loose is loose. Okay, got that one. I don't think I had enough lube on that one. Ow. Okay, after we loosen that, we're gonna do a 28 to 31. We'll do, that's 28. Laptop keeps closing out on me here. Okay. We could just, let's step her up to 32. It says 31, I'll go 32. Give her an extra little. And then after we do that, we need to rotate, like what we did earlier, we need to rotate it about 95 degrees. All right. Do we want to do this? Yep. Okay. Rotate bolts and sequence. Additional. We can go 85. Oh yeah. Yeah, keep looking at the gasket. She's squished. I think that's gonna be fine. Whew, that is, oh, yeah. There we go. So this cylinder head we haven't torqued. It's just sitting on there. You see that? And you see how much we squished it. Beautiful. It's a beautiful freaking thing. I do have to remember to put that knock sensor back in here. Kind of need that. Before the intake goes on, well, the intake can't go on until it's back in the truck. So that's what that's all about. That's solid. Solid as a rock. I'm still waiting on for this heater tube and that EGR tube that we had to cut. Put our knock sensor back in there. Don't have a plug for that. I don't think it's really imperative. I think it's mostly just to keep rodents out, but that obviously didn't stop them because this is open anyways. Because of that thing. So, I'm not too worried about it. And we'll just do the same torque sequence here. We're going to start with 27. Alright. That's done. When you guys are done with your torque wrenches, make sure you loosen them up. Don't leave them on your last used torque setting. It will mess with your calibration. Alright. Well, we have two remanufactured cylinders on there. I did not go through and check, you know, valve seats and all that stuff. We're gonna run it. The goal with this engine is to just repair the damage and sort of recondition it and just run with whatever else it has with the cylinder heads. I don't think there's anything wrong with these, so we're gonna let it slide. You know, we've got enough money into this already. So I think, if anything, this will still be in a much better condition than what it was when we pulled it apart. So anyways, that is it for now. I want to thank you all for watching and sticking along in this video. For those of you that made it to the end, I really appreciate it. I've spent the last few days putting this video together and mostly doing all this work and capturing on video. Some stuff I cut out, just trying to keep the blabbing down, and you know. Anyways, check out the links down below. I have my YouTube email if you guys need to contact me for anything, or if you want a copy of the manual that I'm using, or if you're a vendor or a company that wants to send me something automotive related, please contact me in my email. And then our GoFundMe page to help us support this project is in the link down below also, or in the description. So we'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna go finish this video and not do anything the rest of the night.